Okay, back now for another video. What we're going to do today, we are going to make this character crouch and then crouch based if he has something above his head. We are going to do this all in C++. But first I'm gonna change something because after some time it gets really annoying. I'm going to play and I'm gonna change this to here and always on top. And another thing that I always like to change and comment, and I like to change this to the default comment node tile color to black or whatever the color you want. I like to change to black. Now we can go back there. Here on the code we are going to the definitions. We are going to define some structures. The first structure is going to be the crouch structure. F crouch structure generated body. What we are going to do here, we are going to check, we are going to create a new variable. Crouch. We are going to check the above of the character. If has something, we are not going to allow the character to stand. But to do this, we're going to have to use a line trace. The way we are going to do it, we are tracing from the character, I don't know, waist to upward, so we can have access if it's hit something. This I'll create a new float here with trace distance. I will put 150. Trace distance from character waist. I don't know how to write this. Waist to trace point. We are going to check if we can uncrouch. So bool b can crouch is equal to true, as we need this to be true first. Star if the character can uncrouch. Another thing is edit defaults only, blueprint, read and write, crouch. We are going to have a socket, so crouch socket is equal to crouch socket. This will be the start of the trace. Bone on which the trace will start. We need the how fast this trace will be called. So another here, so float crouch check delay. It's going to be .016f. How I don't know how to put this is how fast the crouch check will happen. Will be stopped actually. Gonna be stopped only 0. Yeah, I think it's correct. Edit defaults only, read and write, category crouch. We need to have some here is bool It's a boolean for. No, I don't think we need this right now. I'm gonna add a timer. F timer handle. Timer handle. Crouch check. It's going to be the timer that we will be checking if the character is below something. Timer to call the function on a callback after the amount of delay. Now another thing that we need is we need to add this first to our movement structure. Let me here, new property, add defaults only, right, category, movement, I had here, crowd structure. We have the crowd structure. Crowd structure, defining the configuration, check what traces while crouched. We need this, and I think that's it for now. Let's go back to the character. Let's add an input. Void input start crouch, and a new one, new function, void input stop crouch. We make the character crouch and then crouch, and we have another function that is going to be our callback to check if the character is still crouched. So uncrouched is stand allowed, is stand allowed, and with that we're going to add another function that's going to be checking if we are allowed to crouch. So it's going to be the function void boo is crouch allowed, is uncrouch allowed. That is basically going to be called by this is stand allowed. We're gonna define this, so void a base character input start crouch, a base character input stop crouch, a base character input is stand allowed, and boo a base character is uncrouch allowed. This function here is going to do the trace. So first thing I'm going to do is if we check if the character is crouched. So to do this, what we are going to do is check. So with movement structure dot stance, if the stance is different than crouching, we continue. Is different than crouching, we return this. We don't want to be checking. We create a read result so we can have the results of our trace hit. There's start location, so vector start location, start location, and And now we get our start location. That's going to be the bone location here. And got where we got the socket. So we're gonna get the mesh. Got the socket location, and it's going to be the one we got there. So it's movement structure dot crowd structure dot crowd socket. We can do this to a new structure just to be more clear about what we are doing. So I have crouch structure crouch structure equals this. Can be accessed more easily without putting so many characters. So structure dot crowd socket. This is our start location. The end location is going to be a vector, and location is going to be the start location plus get actor up vector times our trace distance. So crouch structure dot trace distance. This is going to give us the new location to trace to. We need and quaternion, so f_quat const, and quat is going to tell us the end, so it's gonna be f_quat and identity. It's basically just to have this. Now we need f_collision query parameters, so query params. This will give us the options that we need for our trace. So b find initial overlaps, you go true, query params dot add ignore actors equal this, query dot params add ignore component equals the mesh component, so get mesh. We add query params dot we add something mobility type, so it's equal query mobility type any. We check if we're under anything, it's movable or dynamic or static, so we check that too. And now we do the trace, and here I forgot something, we return false. It actually is true. One thing we want to do here is we want to trace, so we get the world sweep single by channel. We have the out result, that's going to be our hit, start location and quat, and it's going to be our visibility channel, the collision channel that we'll trace against, and f_collision shape, it's going to be a sphere with the radius of 25. We create a const bool here. B was hit. If B was hit, if it, we just return this but inverted. So if B was hit, what we do, we will not be able to crouch. If did not hit, we will be able to uncrouch. If did hit, we will not be able to uncrouch. And how we do this, we call this function here, movement struct crouch struct beacon uncrouch equals is uncrouch allowed. This is going to be checked all the time, and we'll put this here. If is as we'll be checking this, we do this right here. We need to initialize the timer. So on begin play, so we got world timer manager, set timer, gonna be timer handle, actually movement structure, crowd structure, timer handle crowd check, this and a character crouch is standard loud, and it's going to be looping on the crouch interval. So let me just put this here, let's be easy again. Let's put here, I've got structure, crouch structure, so we'll check struct here, crouch struct, I have a better name convention, crouch structure, this, that, delay, and I'm gonna be looping. Simple as that. And here, when it's to uncrouch, we will check if it's allowed. So movement struct.crouch struct.b can uncrouch. If we can uncrouch, we just type uncrouch. And here we just type crouch. It's pretty simple. Another thing that I want to change from the last video, it's this check right here. If it's fmath ABS, we want the value independent of it's negative or positive, so we will use this. And it's only if it's greater or equal to 1 that we are moving. If not, we are not moving. So that. Let me see. I think that's it for now. We just have to call our crouch functions here. I don't think we have done that already. So player input component bind action crouch. Yeah, I pressed this and a base character input crouch start crouch, and the same thing for stop crouch. Basically, stop crouch. Yeah, release and released. I released. Making crouch. Yeah, I think that's it for now. Control B. And I will wait to build, then I will be back. Okay, I got some error here, and I have to see what it is. Okay. Yeah, as I was just dumb at this moment. I have to put this here. It's created a one. Now if we build, the project should work. If not, I have to check it out. Yep, it did work. So if we head back to our project, I'll give it this little warning because it didn't find the Onion blueprint for some reason. I'll have to check that out to see why I didn't find. Okay, I think I know what it is. And crashed. Yeah, that was a sign that I need to put this here. So I need to put the underscore C because it's a class. It's not just any object. It's a class. Everything that we have a class, we have to put the underscore C after the the object here. So Ctrl F5 that we build and open the engine. So let's wait. Okay, now it's open our engine. So I'll just wait a little. I hope it doesn't take too long, as I have already added the C there. You can see that it worked without any problems. I close here, open my default map here, I play. Have this, I have to add the input, of course. Project settings, input. Only add it here, so crouch. Going to be left control. And we're going to our animation blueprint. Be here. Animations here. Open animation blueprint. We are going to add another conduit. No, actually no. On idle, we are going to add a new. Gonna get the structure, break. We're gonna get the current stance and current stance. So here is stance state. I put here. Default's gonna be standing, and we add stand, crouch, jump. For the moment we don't need it, so here it's just a hacky way that I find. Just add a reroute node and you could do this. And for the other animation, the crouch idle, I will add here crouch idle v2 IPC. That's in place. So we have this here. Try to make this a little more neat. Organize stuff. My okay, my computer came back to life. What I did this. I can see right now if it didn't not show, so I did this. And here I'm gonna do the same thing. Stand here. Reroute. Actually, it's the opposite. Now I have to do this. Reroute. And here. Gonna try to organize this a little bit. And I'm gonna create the blend space for crouching, because I don't think I have one here. No, I don't. So save everything, browse this. I'm gonna come here. I'm gonna Control W to duplicate, so movement, crouched, and instead of 8 on the numbers of grid, I'll just use, yeah, actually it's 8. So I'm gonna delete this one because somehow it ends up fucking effing everything. I'm gonna delete, duplicate again, crouch it, double click it, and now I'm gonna look for crouch, walk, loop, IPC. This will give us just these options that it makes easier to follow along. And we change the values here. Instead of minus 600, we use minus 150, 150, the same number of grid divisions 4. Actually it's 8, I did it again. So it's correct. Same thing here, minus 150 and 150. What you're going to do, crouch forward. We had this one, and here, as you can see here. Crouch forward left, right here, and here, and here actually, and here. Forward right, here, here, and here. And backwards we do the same thing, here, here, and here, here, what am I doing? I have to do this again. I'll do for the ground, that's better. So here, blend space, mannequin, base, BS, crouched, movement, right here, crouch, walk, IPC, loop, and here goes the direction, 150, 150. On the number of grid divisions, it's 8, and the interpolation time is 25, like the first one. And we have this. I'm gonna increase this just so I can see, and you guys can see it too. I'm gonna add the crouch forward on the speed 75, on speed on 150, and on 112.5 forward left on direction and speed on 75, on 112, and on 150. Same thing for the right, as you can see on the graph there. You can see the names. And we'll do the same thing for backwards. There's minus 75 here and here, 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 and here, 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 and here. And we save it. Another thing we do, and access to scale animation, we put BSA max. Now we came here, we got our crouch movement, blend space, and drag, add here, and connect forward to speed and right to direction. I've compiled, save, we play and press Control. Why is not crouching? Tell me that. I forgot something. Crouch. Maybe I misspelled the name. No, I did not. So here, movement capabilities. Okay, this for some reason was set to false. We set back to true. Now we can crouch. As you can see, it's not changing for some reason. Does not want to change. Oh, okay, I know why. Go back to our our Visual Studio. One thing we're going to do, we're going to get character movement. Actually, it's not. Actually, it's movement struct current stance. We're going to if is crowd is get character movement is crouching. We are gonna set this current stance to crouching, so E stance state ESS crouch, and now we should be able to crouch and play them. When it finishes compile, I'll be back. Alright, it did finish building. Let's see the result that we got. As you can see, the character crouches and walks. I forgot to put something on the blend space. It's the right and left. So left I put here, here, and here. Right the same thing, just the other way around. $75, 112, 150. Save this. Another thing that I want to do is set the turn in place. So on the turn left here, I'm just gonna copy this. So I have better. Put here. Reroute. Connect here. And I'm gonna find the crouch. I'm gonna right here turn and place IPC, and I have the crowd ones, so left, and I connect here and connect to the output, of course. I'm gonna copy this, do the same thing for the right. So right for the crouch, and here if I compile and save, if I play, if I crouch, I can be rotating, as you can see. Can move, there's something wrong. I gotta see what it is. Oh, I think I know what it is. I'm gonna add a socket here. I forgot to do that. I'm gonna add it to the root because I want to check just there. Route socket, and I will put in the height of the waist of the character right here. If I play, till he really wants to stay crouched. Forgot something, maybe. 150, can a crouch go through? Let me put the caps lock to be visible so I can see better. Okay, it's uncrouching, but it stays in crouch. Oh, of course. Dumb. I'm dumb. Sorry about this. Current stance equals a stance state ESS stand. Control B, wait for compile, and after it's done, I'll come back. It's done. Let's test this out. When I release it, it came back to place. As you can see, the capsule is a little off. One thing we can do, we go to character movement and we go to crouch half height and we put 80 here. Actually 64. If I remember correctly, this will be quite a good, yeah, a good height. And this is it. If you want to check if it's okay, this, I think it's a good height. Actually, the capsule is just a little big here. I just released the control key after I get out and press control again, it will go up, same thing. And even if I keep pressing control, it won't do anything because I already crouched. I have to go last, press crouch, it stands up again. So this is for this video. I hope you enjoy it. So this is it. See you in the next video.